Hey guys, so in today's video I wanted to talk about the new Afrique Palette by Juvias Place, and this one comes with a bunch of different colorful shades as well as some neutral tones, and I have already used every single shade. I actually have an eye swatch video if you want to check that one out. I use every single shade on my eyes, packed on and blended out, as well as all the shimmer shades, wet and dry. So if you want to check out that video is up there. But today I want to talk about some of the looks that I've done and how the colors have been working together. So demo number 1 shows you the way that I did my rainbow eye look, and I actually have a full tutorial on this. And I wanted to use all of the colorful shades that are in this palette, and I wanted to see how they would look, how they would blend, how they would work together. And honestly, I didn't find any problem blending them in together. I feel like they do work with one another. Overall, I love the look. It was really pretty. The colors work really well together and they blended out nicely. I didn't have a problem with any of the mattes. Now, what I do have to say though is that there is a ton of fallout, especially with the... Actually, with this look, a lot of the shades have a lot of fallout, but especially the blue one. The blue has fallout, the orange has fallout, the burgundy has fallout. Like, there is fallout with almost every single shade from this one. And I feel like these colors are just a tiny bit more powdery than the ones that I have in the Zulu palette. So the Zulu palette also has a yellow and an orange, and I'm gonna show you the difference between the two shades. Let me show you how they swatch. Let me show you the yellows. Now the yellows are different. They're not even close to being the same yellow. So that's the yellow from the Zulu, and this is the yellow from the Afrique palette. This one, for some reason, is a lot smoother and a lot more creamy. I mean, I'm not saying that there's bad color coming from the yellow one from this palette, but I'm just saying that the way that it feels a little bit different. This is the orange from the Zulu, and this is the orange from the Afrique palette. Now, both of them, I would say that both of these feel the same, but whenever I'm swatching them and whenever I have them on my eyes, I feel like they're a lot more powdery and they seem a little bit more chalky, like a little bit rougher. Now the colors are still beautiful, they still show up nicely, and you can see right here that they're not the same shades. Of course, maybe once on the eye you probably wouldn't be able to tell too much of a difference, but they are different shades. And actually, I'll go ahead and show you the burgundy shade and compare it to the pink one. They're nothing alike, just so you can see the difference. And this is gonna stain my arms. Like, Juvias Place eyeshadows just stain my arms for sure. And then I'll show you the green one as well, just so you can see the difference. So here is the Afrique palette, and here's the Zulu palette green. So there are all the shades that you might think are similar or you might think are the same, but they're not. I feel like the colors over here are more of a true color. Like, this is a true green, and this is a true blue and a true orange. While over here you have more of a bright orange, an aqua bluish green, you know, a hot pink, a purple. So over here you get more of like the rainbow, the actual rainbow shades. So they're not the same. Even though they're both colorful palettes, they're not the same. And I also forgot to show you the brown. So there is this brown right here, and that one is a warm brown, and then in this one you also get another warm brown. So let me show you the swatch to both. These, I would say, are pretty similar. Like, you wouldn't even be able to tell the difference on the eyes for the brown ones. I just wanted to show you the difference, or yeah, just to show you the difference in shade, in the shades. Why can't I say anything? I just wanted to show you the difference in the colors, because yeah, there's a yellow and an orange and a yellow and an orange, but they are different tones. But maybe on the eyes, I mean, just depends on what look you do, but maybe on the eyes they wouldn't look that different. Like the yellow, the orange, the brown, for sure, those look very similar. But other than that, the other shades are completely different. Okay, so for look number 2, that one is actually such a beautiful look, and you can really see the pigment in the blue eyeshadow. That blue eyeshadow is just so bright. It's one of the brightest blues that I have. And I actually only have 2 that I feel like are like super bright. This one and one by ColourPop. I'll show it to you in a little bit too. So in case you have that one, you won't need it from here. But that one is just so intense. Now, the only problem with that one is that it gets all over your face. So I would not recommend using it at all, even if it's just on your lower lash line, for you to use it with your makeup already on, unless you're baking or something and you know you can easily take it off. Because that one will get on your under eyes. It'll get on your clothes if it's a little bit like... If you're away from your desk or from your vanity, whatever it is that you're using, you will get that blue shade everywhere. It has a ton of fallout. And then on the lower lash line for this look, I used the green, which is a very beautiful green. It's just a regular green. I wouldn't say it's a bright or light or aqua. It is just plain green. And then on the inner corners, I used Angelique, which is almost like my name. But that one is a very pretty silver shade, and it looks a lot better whenever you wet it. So you don't have to, because the shade does show up really nicely without you wetting it. Let me even swatch it for you. So here is the swatch. Very, very soft, very beautiful. It is just such a pretty silver shade. Let me show you the green one, which I already did show it to you, but here is the blue one. There we go. So that way you can see the 3 shades that I used. And I also used, I think it was this light brown. Was it the light brown, or is the light brown? No, the light brown is the one that I'm wearing today. But anyways, now you've seen the swatch. Okay, so I went ahead and I grabbed the other blue shade. Let me take off this swatch. Okay, so kind of took off that brown shade, but I want to show you another blue that I have that I thought was like one of the best blue that I've ever tried, which is from ColourPop, and it's this one right here. It is a single eyeshadow, which they do sell on their website for $5, and I'm gonna swatch it next to it so you can see it. So it is a very, very beautiful blue. It's very similar, but I would say that this one is more of a royal blue, like a true royal blue. And I used to think this one was like amazing, like the best blue that I had, and now this one is just that brighter blue. This one is still very beautiful, the ColourPop one, but it's more of a true blue, while this one is more of a royal blue. But if you already have the ColourPop one, you might not even need to get this palette if the blue is something that you're interested in, if you already have the blue one. If you don't, I mean, they're different, they're not the same, but the look once you're done might look pretty similar. I'm just saying, like, if maybe you already have some of these shades, you don't need this palette, or you don't need to get it for certain shades in this palette. All right, so now moving on to look number 3, which is the one that I'm wearing right now. This is the 3rd demo that I have for you. In today's look, I used the green, and I used that one all over the transition area. I really packed it on. Again, I did not set the concealer, I just left it wet. I just like the way that looks. And then I blended it out with the Cool Tone brown shade in here, and it is a very light brown. You can barely see it. It's one of those perfect transition shades that people love to use. I don't always use brown in the transition area. I use so many different colors, but you're more likely to use that one for a very natural eye look as a transition shade. You know what I mean? It's a very cool tone brown. So then I did the cut crease all the way to the eyeliner, or to the edge of the eye, and I used tape on the edge, that way it can look like really straight. And then I applied Angelique all over the eyelid, which I think looks really pretty. It's just a silver color, but it is very intense, and it looks a lot nicer, like I said earlier, whenever you wet it. So first I applied it dry, and then I applied it with a little bit of spray, and it just makes it show up a lot more. And then on the lower lash line, you see I do have the yellow, but it's not super intense. I didn't wet it or anything. I just applied concealer, and then I applied the yellow right on top of it, and then I blended it out, and then I applied the orange. And actually I used the orange one on my waterline as well, because I didn't want to use black, and I used that one just with a small little brush, and I applied it on the waterline. And then so this one is the Saharan 2 palette, and like I said, this one has a few browns in here, like neutral tones in here. So some of the shades might look similar, so I'm gonna swatch them for you so that way we can see the difference. So we have the burgundy, this one, and the burgundy in this one. So here's the one from the Afrique palette, and this one is the Saharan 2 palette. And like I said, even with these shades that I'm swatching now, these just seem a lot creamier. These are like more chalky, and they're a little bit, they're not as vibrant. You can see the difference right there. Maybe they're not meant to be that vibrant, but they're both burgundy, and I honestly, if I was gonna use a burgundy, I would go for this one instead of for this one, just because it looks more dull, you know what I mean? And then let me see what other shades are pretty similar in here. The brown, I'll show you the brown again. So this is the warm tone brown, and then this one, the brown from this palette. Okay, this is the Afrique palette, and this is the Saharan 2. So yeah, this one just looks a lot warmer side by side. So this one is the burgundy-ish looking shade from that palette, and then this burgundy one right here. And on the swatch, it doesn't even look burgundy, it's more of a gold. And then this one is the burgundy from the Afrique palette. So they're not the same at all. In the pan, like I said, it does look kind of reddish, but it's not whenever you swatch it. And then lastly, it's this brown one, a brown gold, and this one is also a brown gold, but those are different for sure. This one's more of a cool tone brown, and this one's more of a like a true, sorry, I meant this is more of a cool tone brown gold, and this was more of a true gold. So those are the differences between the shades. They might look similar in the palettes, but once you swatch them, these are completely different shades. These four. Now these, I would say I would use that one for a burgundy instead of this one, and then this one's a lot warmer than this one in the browns. So here are the swatches for all of the matte shades. And then the swatches for all of the shimmer shades. And in the swatches don't look good. Like, the colorful shades do not look good. They look powdery, they look kind of crumbly, like if they just kind of break off. But once you apply them on the eyes, they are different. I would just say don't judge them based on the swatches, because they don't look like the way that they look on the eyes. Now, they aren't as vibrant maybe. And then the collection also came with the liquid lipstick. This one is also called Afrique. It's just spelled differently. And this one is a red liquid lipstick. And I guess it doesn't look that bad with the green, right? I mean, kind of Christmassy, but not really. But yeah, this is the way that it looks. So it is like a true red. I can't give you any wear time amount, or, you know, just how long it lasts, because it's the first time that I ever try a Juvias Place liquid lipstick. It's just a very pretty color. It looks really nice and matte. It's comfortable, and that's pretty much it. It's a true real red, so I do like this one. So those are pretty much my thoughts on the palette. Like I said, I'm not like super impressed with the colors. I mean, the colors are pretty, but the way that they apply, I do feel like I have to work just a little bit more. For some reason, I feel like these go on a lot smoother, and they're just, something is different about them. I'm not sure what it is. I mean, they are pretty. I have been able to use it, you know, create nice looks and everything. It's not like I have a problem with using it. I just know or feel like there is something a little bit different compared to these. I like the colors in here. I like the color selection. I also like that they have a mixture of like all the colorful shades, which is like the red, the green, the blue, the orange, the yellow. But then you also get the shimmers and also some browns in here. And then the shimmer shades in here are also very pretty. My favorite one is the one in the corner, which is the silver one. So they are really nice, but like I said, they're not like as intense as I thought that they would, or as smooth and creamy as I thought that they would compared to these palettes. For some reason, they're just not. I don't know. You let me know if you experience the same thing, if you have this palette, or what you think about it, or if you're thinking about getting it. But that is pretty much it for today's video. Like I said, I do have a full video of eye swatches on all of the colors in this palette. So if you're interested in that, it is linked up there. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. So I would say it's very